Look, I think that the president does not want to come to terms with the fact that the Russians hacked the election.
President-elect Donald Trump still not sounding convinced that Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election to tilt it to Mr. Trump. The question is, did Mr. Trump cooperate?
Unlike President Trump, he has no doubt the Russians hacked the election.
The Russians definitively hacked the election.
If you can get him to accept that Russia hacked the election, see if you can get him to accept who won the Civil War.
Definitively, Russia hacked the election, and Russia is doing it again now.
And here we go.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Fernando Rivera Jr., your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con with the common sense and random shit show. You already know. Yeah, that rhymed. Yeah, anyway. Breaking news. Maybe. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been. Under a rock or in denial, because that's pretty much what the left and liberal media is right now. In denial. Not the river. Denial. Just in case you're liberal. Anyway, I'll admit, genius, this person right here is not. I'm not viral. Don't have a big following. I don't have a script. I literally come on here, push play, and go. Do what I got to do, say what I got to say, try to entertain you, make you laugh. I share stuff. I share other people's videos. I'm not for everyone. I get it. But I've seen worse. So I still have faith. So it's whatever. Critique, give me a push, say thank you, or F you, or whatever. I'm still going to be here. So if you don't like it, it's whatever. Anyway, yeah, liberal media as complicit as the people involved, because they were. Almost half of America believed this nonsense for years. It's most of the people that believe this shit are the ones pushing the Hitler and Nazi narrative. You know, what bothers me is everything that's going on now should wake America up, should literally wake up anyone that's on the other side and say, shit, if they lied about that, they probably lied about everything else. I mean, it is what it is, as I always say. But let's get to the first video, because Benny Johnson couldn't have put it better. So I'm going to share Benny's video. Love this. I love the way he puts stuff. I'm going to put Benny's description, link in description, so you can check him out if you haven't yet. I know most of people do, and the reason I share most of the stuff, even though it's everywhere, is because some of the people I work with that watch my show here and there don't watch everything else, and sometimes they get their stuff from me. So it's whatever. Like I said, if you don't like it, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Benny Johnson, check it out. I like the clip that he used. I think this was out of Forrest Gump. But yeah, I mean, CNN is the scumbags. I mean, let's be real. Well, I mean, most of the liberal media, the acronyms are, but just check this out, and you let me know. This is very interesting.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On
Very much.
How are you? I'll be dead in this goddamn pointer! Jesus Christ, what are they doing this?
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Public beatings are technically illegal as punishment in America unless you are a reporter inside of the White House press briefing room, where it happens on a near weekly and daily basis. Caroline Leavitt scorching the reporters in the room today for their complicit stenography of Barack Obama's fake hoax against President Trump. Reporters at legacy outlets were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for perpetuating this hoax. It's not journalism, it's political propaganda and disinformation in the service of the Democrat Party and the intelligence community who hand over false political narratives. Boom. But she won't done yet. She brought out Tulsi Gabbard to officially drop the, oh shit moment for Barack Obama when Tulsi went through a blistering opening statement laying out all of the crimes of the Obama regime in great detail. How damaging is this that CNN cuts away? CNN did cut away in a hysterical moment here. Tulsi Gabbard is just beginning to lay out the full evidence of the Russia collusion hoax. And CNN immediately pulls the plug. This is without question the single most important story of transparency and government corruption in American history. And CNN doesn't want their viewers to see it. I wonder why.
Full intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
They couldn't allow the narrative to be broken on their channel. This is why these channels have to go. They have to be destroyed. They've already been destroyed. They've been destroyed by channels like ours, actually. Because we'll let you hear the truth.
And that, you know, as Benny went on, you know what I'm saying? You go watch the video, just go on his channel. You know, when Trump used to speak, give his speeches, of course, they would cut him off and just talk over him. This is what they do. They don't want you to hear anything that's not propaganda. It'll ruin their narrative. And of course, you liberals believe it. That's why you got so much hate, you know, and as I said, I was talking about earlier, I'm not here for everyone. And as I said, breaking news, yeah, whatever. I don't have breaking news unless you haven't watched it, and then it is. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're either going to like the show or you're not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not for everyone. And I'm sure most liberals don't, if they even watch the whole show. And because us conservatives, we're different. We don't bullshit. We're not angry. You know, we help each other out. Of course, if you're a liberal, you're probably going to talk shit. But it's whatever. As I said. Yeah. Anyway, what I love the most is when Caitlin Collins and her woke narrative bullshit lies asked the right questions to Tulsi and the best secretary ever, press secretary ever, and they shut her down. This is probably so awesome. It's one of the best moments. I love it when Caroline Leavitt shuts down, especially this man face from CNN. I think, is she from CNN? NBC? I forgot. Check this out. It's just pretty cool.
Caitlin. Thank you, Caroline. Two questions for Director Gabbard. Just on this, Director Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Community, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
Well, first, I want to correct something that you stated, which was citing the Senate Intelligence Committee's report as being one and the same. I think you said the intelligence community. The Senate Intelligence Committee has a very different function than the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The evidence and the intelligence that has been declassified and released is irrefutable. I'm going to let Caroline speak to Secretary Rubio.
I'll speak to both questions. First, on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians, that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians, all of these lies that were never true. And he also said at that time, we discovered deeply troubling actions taken by the FBI under Comey, particularly their acceptance and willingness to rely on the Steele dossier without verifying its methodology or sourcing. The Steele dossier that many outlets in this room ran as the gospel truth, and it was cooked up and paid for by the Clinton campaign. As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to, and that is true of his entire cabinet, who is all working as one team to deliver on the promises this president made.
You know what I call that? Shut the Caitlin Collins. We ain't having it. And you know, I mentioned before, Caroline Leavitt is a masterpiece. You know, there's no binder. Yeah, you know, granted, she glanced down here and there. I mean, she's not perfect. Just saying. Wow. But that's what I'm talking about. That's how a press secretary should answer questions, and shutting these left-wing piece of shit media down. I love it. I love watching that shit. Anyway, Sivaady. I post this stuff sometimes, and apparently yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Jessica turned her off, you know, the liberal on the 5, was, you know, ranting and raving the same old bullshit the liberal media is doing now. Oh, they're just talking about this to get away from the Epstein files and blah, 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 blah. This is serious. This, what's going on in America right now, it's serious. And yeah, although there are people out there, mostly conservatives, that are like, nothing's going to happen out of it. I don't know. I hope there's some arrests here. Most of America wants that. I said it the other day. Most of America wants arrests. We can't deal with this shit no more. It's got to happen. Fuck them. They did it to us. We got to do it back. An eye for an eye. I'm just saying. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It is what it is. But check this out. Gotta love this shit. This is Sivaady. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. I couldn't have done it better than this. This is awesome. Check this out, guys.
There is no denying that the Russians interfered in the election.
Right. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims.
Go, shoddy. It's your birthday. DNI Tulsi Gabbard taking to the White House podium, laying out what she's calling a treasonous conspiracy, claiming former President Barack Obama greenlit an intel probe into Trump back in 2016, but based it on bogus info, like the phony Steele dossier.
This is such old news. It's beyond comprehension that we're talking about. And I understand that this Epstein situation is very tricky for the administration. And day by day, it gets worse and worse and worse. But they are pulling out all of the greatest hits to try to inflame the minds of their most, conspiracy theory addled base so that they hear Brennan, Clapper, Obama, Hillary, and they get activated, and suddenly they won't be mad at Trump anymore for not releasing the Epstein files or whatever he had to do with any of it. It's preposterous that we were talking about Hillary Clinton's emails again in year 2025.
We spent years on this story. No, let me. We had to take this story seriously for years, and it was false.
It wasn't false.
You're a member of Judiciary. Do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
Yes, I think there's more evidence than he is. Yes, and I think all the arrows point in that direction, and I haven't seen a single piece of evidence that he's not.
An agent like in the 1940s where you had people who are Reds, to use an old term, like that. In other words, working for a foreign power.
He's working on behalf of the Russians, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to let Russia get away with what they did and are still doing, according to Christopher Wray, the current FBI director who said that last week, they're in our election systems. We're worried about 2020, he said.
And she lied. The problem with this story is that nobody knows what you're talking about. When Trump won in 2016, the intel community concluded that Russia didn't have a hand in his victory. Instead of accepting the inclusion, Obama determined and wanted a new conclusion. So he sent Brennan running to come up with a new conclusion, that there was some kind of trivial involvement that then they could feed out to the media. And coincidentally, dozens of news organizations said that Trump was in bed with Putin.
18 reasons Trump could be a Russian asset. How many years in journalism have you been? How many years?
Many years.
Many years. Did you ever think you'd be writing this piece?
No. I mean, this is like something out of the Manchurian Candidate or the Americans. I mean, this is the realm of spy fiction becoming reality. It would have seemed bonkers until Trump, but it's not bonkers anymore.
So let's go through what is not bonkers, all 18 non-bonker items.
They amplified a false conclusion that Trump colluded with Russia in 2016. We had to spend years dealing with that. And now we're actually getting investigation, and you're saying, no, you know what? You guys should just move on. You guys should just move. You say the same effing thing about Biden's brain. You guys spent 4 years telling us that Joe Biden was fine.
The best Biden ever.
You covered up for an invalid, and then when we get the truth, it's like, oh, you know what? It's time. We got to look forward. We got to start talking about what's there. And you can bring up Epstein all you want. We, unlike Democrats, we can handle 2 things, 3 things, 4 things at once.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, no. Have you been listening to the right lately? The right is more on top of Epstein than the Democrats are. The Democrats never cared about Epstein until they saw a political motivation. The right was into the Epstein story because women were being sex trafficked. We actually cared. But now you're like, ooh, Epstein, a political angle. Ooh, this is fantastic. Save me your selective outrage.
This is such old news.
Hell yeah.
Just so you know, that clip there was from Punisher. I think it was season 2. What a beatdown! Holy shit! You gotta love Greg Gutfeld. I mean, I tend to watch him when I can. Usually because of my 3 jobs, I pass the F out by 10:30. Like old man. I remember I used to make fun of my brother because he used to pass out at 9:30, 10. Now I'm passing out. As soon as I get home, take a shower, I lay down to watch something, or I sit down to watch Gutfeld or Hannity or something. I'm drooling and shit. My wife, she'll wake me up at midnight. All right, baby, it's time to go to bed. And I don't remember half the shit I did before when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours later. Oh, my God, that's hilarious. Anyway, let's get rid of that and go to one of my favorite parts of the show. You guys know what that is? Yes. What an idiot. I got to do what I got to do. Give me 1 second. Solo dolo by myself, as always. So, yeah, I'm going to be random shit on X. It's not going to be random, though, even though it kind of is. It's all going to be associated with what's going on. And you already know. Yeah, she's only getting started. Cat turd. I haven't liked that yet. Al Sharpton is freaking out over Obama being accused of treasonous conspiracy. Well, if Obama hadn't had a coup against the duly elected president for years, maybe he wouldn't be accused of anything. Obama's the worst president in history, and he is a traitor. It's that simple. I don't understand how this guy's even on TV.
Benefits them tremendously in the midterm election.
And I got to ask you, too, before we go to break, about what's happening to former President Obama right now. You know, we saw Trump release that AI video of him getting arrested to the tune of the YMCA song. And now we have DNI Tulsi Gabbard sort of pushing these baseless claims about
I love the way they say baseless. We're talking about the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence. Apparently, that was something big when it was somebody else. You know, that was a Obama blowjob or whatever. But now that it's somebody that Trump put on, it's baseless. Now they're not putting
the former president, claiming that the Russia probe was designed by him to undermine Trump's incoming presidency at the time. How seriously do you take this? I mean, a lot of people are talking about it as a distraction right now. But do you think there's a real hunger, a real plan here to try to go after Obama?
I think it's a real problem for the country to have a sitting president to say that you are to arrest or prosecute a president. His predecessor has never happened in American history.
How can this piece of shit sit there and lie? He just okay. So you know, what happened to Trump in the last couple of years, where they convicted him, arrested him. We got a mugshot. Mugshots right outside the Oval Office. This guy's a piece of shit. I can't even listen to his voice. And there are people who believe this asshole. 10 shocking stories the media buried today, or yesterday, the last couple of days. CNN abruptly cuts away as Tulsi Gabbard exposes her how far Obama went to create the Russia collusion hoax. That's number 10. They muted her mic and put words in her mouth. Unbelievable. Here's what they didn't want you to hear. Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent or capability. You know, listen, I'm not going to read this whole thing because if you have common sense and you love this country, most of us on the right have been saying it for years. Not me, because I'm nobody, but I've been paying attention. My wife used to always say, pay attention. And if you do, you have common sense. If you don't, you're an idiot, lip turd. Painting, dyeing your hair blue, purple, and hating Trump, calling everyone Nazi. That's not listening to your views. Everything's there. Just look it up. Matter of fact, who is this? The Vigilant Fox on X. Look him up. I'm not following. Get out of here, really. My bad. You follow that? I won't read the whole thing. Look him up. Pretty much. Okay. Kevin O'Leary predicts CBS soon will fire Stephen Colbert instead of letting him finish out his contract. I hope so. Only a moron would tell the president to F off before he gets his check. So what's going to happen now, in my opinion, is tomorrow CBS, his boss, will fire him. I really hope so. Did I go too far? I probably did. Hold on a second. Okay, Lady Vet. In 1996, when Bill Clinton visited Mount Rushmore during his re-election campaign, ABC News called it a symbol of American ingenuity and creativity and extraordinary national achievement. In 2008, when Barack Obama campaigned there, CNN referred to it as a majestic sight and said every president should make the trip. In 2016, when Bernie Sanders visited and said he was humbled to stand before four of the greatest presidents, CNN described the moment as awe-inspiring. In 2020, when President Trump visited, CNN called it a celebration of white supremacy. and pointed out that he stood before 2 former slave owners on land taken from the Native Americans. If you honestly believe the media isn't agenda-driven, you might want to take your head out of the sand. Liberals, just saying. The deep state is in shambles. Tulsi Gabbard just made Obama gag on his own Russia collusion hoax and then tried to censor the moment. Yeah, isn't that shit crazy? Adam Schiff, of all people, is demanding transparency from the government when he's the one who wasted $30 million screaming Russia, Russia, Russia. Pencil Neck really wants everyone to forget about what he's done. Not happening. Just saying. Charlie Kirk, this is an important piece of tape from Jason Chaffetz, former House Oversight Chair, that helps explain why the Obama admin's manufactured intelligence hoax never saw the light of day until Tulsi Gabbard declassified documents. Remember, you had an Obama administration and a later Biden administration that did everything it could to bury that and allow people to like me and allow people like me. Okay, sorry. And I was the chairman of the Oversight Committee. They would not provide these documents, and that deep state continued on a perpetuity to hide the information that was clearly asked under subpoena, had it never happened. Cat turd. Why does fake news man-face still have a press pass? Kick all these losers out of the presidential press pool and put podcasters who are actually honest. Just saying. After 4 years in exile, being prosecuted and shot at, Trump didn't come back to move on. He came back to finish this. The deep state is being hunted, and this time they're not walking free. I'm just saying, I really hope so. Oh, did you see this, guys?
Gilmore Abrego Garcia. He's the illegal migrant sent to the maximum security prison in El Salvador for a while and later returned to the U.S. to face human trafficking charges. He pleaded not guilty. Today, a federal judge in Tennessee ordered the release of Abrego Garcia from custody while he awaits trial. Now, a separate judge in Maryland ruling shortly after that immigration authorities, ICE, must allow him to return to Maryland, blocking the Trump administration from detaining him upon his release from criminal custody in Tennessee. So they can't pick him up. That same judge ruling ICE must also provide 72 hours notice before deporting him to another country. Joining me now is former acting DHS Deputy Secretary Ken Cuccinelli. Ken?
How could you not see this? These liberal judges, Democrats, protecting illegal alien criminals. But thank you, Democrats. Thank you very much for giving us even more ammo on you fuckers. I'm just saying. Midterm is going to be a red wave. That's all I'm saying. Where am I here? Dan Bongino, I gave up everything for this. My wife is struggling. I stare at these 4 walls all day in D.C. by myself. It's hard. I used to watch this guy's show every day.
I mean, I gave up everything for this. I mean, you know, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this, and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Cash is there all day. We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there he gets in at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night. You know, I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. He uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these 4 walls all day in D.C., you know, by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, you know, we love each other, and it's hard to be apart.
But you're doing some great work. You're straightening out the FBI. You're moving buildings. There's a lot of change.
I got one more thing. I mean,
you know, like I said, I'm a big fan of Dan's. You know, I was saddened that he went away, but this is a little bit of what I showed earlier. Shit, I should have just waited. I didn't know that it was somebody I already posted or saved it. It's just like the whole thing.
Investigation, and you're saying, no, you know, top of Epstein than the Democrats are. The Democrats never cared about Epstein.
Yeah, it's just I pretty much posted that already. And yeah, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, I was a fan. This is funny. Oh shit. If they arrested me, you know what to do. Cryptic message from the former president sent privately to his followers. The Godfather. This excites me more than busting Obama. Tulsi Gabbard, in her role as Director of National Intelligence, has asserted that she has proof linking former Vice President Mike Pence to a treasonous conspiracy with the Obama administration aimed at sabotaging Donald Trump's presidency following the 2016 election. That's some crazy shit. This is true. I am so here for this throwdown between, this is what I played earlier. People love this shit. Michael Flynn, I'm all for this. Deputize General Flynn and let him arrest Barack Obama. There is no statute of limitations for treason, espionage, murder, terrorism, war crimes, child sex crimes, sedition, if tied to a capital offense, embezzlement of public funds, major fraud against financial institutions. Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. I can see that. And to end off the random part of the show this summer, he'll have to get away to get away. Nobody 2. If you haven't seen the first one, watch it. It's actually pretty good.
I know you're back to work, but summer break's just a few days away.
We should do something.
Somerville is Somerville!
You're suggesting that for summer break?
You will love it. The duck boats, the arcade, the Midway.
It can be an adventure.
On vacation! Nobody 2, rated R. Only in theaters August 15th.
Hey, 2 days before my birthday. What'd I do? Hold on a second. I opened something else by mistake. Yeah, I don't want to hear this. Anyway, that's all for this. That's all for today. So, as I said, solo dolo by myself. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. As I said, conservative. If you're a liberal and you're watching me, write all the negative shit you want. As I said in the beginning of the show, I don't care. It's whatever. I mean, I don't have a lot of followers. Guess what? I'm still here. I'm sure you're not the first person. If you wrote me some bullshit, that are the first person. Not even the 5th. But it's whatever. It's still a free country. I respect that. I respect you making your comments negative or positive. But as I said, if they're negative comments, common sense. You're a liberal. If you're conservative, which I've already talked to several, it's a different attitude. I mean, it is what it is. And thanks for watching, guys. I try not to go on as long as I usually do because this thing doesn't shut up. Please like, share, subscribe, follow me. Everything's down there, and the links are in the description. My email's in the description. So if you want to write me, threaten me, talk shit, whatever. Still every country. Wouldn't have been if Kamala would have won. Just saying, because they're all about censorship. But yeah, as I said, arrest them all. This is what we want. This is what the country wants. Pay attention. Look around. It's what we want. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to be saying adieu. I forgot to put the video. What I usually do. Where is it? Here it is. Let me get ready to say bye. Again, love you guys. See you guys tomorrow. If you guys got anything you want me to talk about, movies. Remember, movie guys. Sometimes I'll dedicate a whole show to movies. It ain't all about politics. And the show will get better and better. If you've been watching me, I've been doing this for over a year. I was doing it from my car with my cell phone. Then as I progressed, obviously the show got a little bit better production, and it's only going to get better. You know what I'm saying? Even though I may be struggling, even though I make not a cent for none of this stuff, I don't expect reciprocation from any channels that I share. If it's out there, I like to share it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's on YouTube. Not everybody's on X. Not everybody watches conservative media. Not everybody even has cable anymore or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As I said, I work with people that don't and actually watch me and say, oh, shit, I didn't know that. That's funny. Or, oh, shit. So, yeah. Anyway, let's have a conversation. Write me. Let me know what's up. You guys have an awesome day. Laters! Yeah, you already know. Yeah.